In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 NBA games happening on March 10, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Charlotte Hornets versus Miami Heat. 2 NBA Southeast Division rivals are set to face off on Monday night in South Florida as the Charlotte Hornets take on the Miami Heat. The Hornets are coming off a much-needed 105-102 victory over the Brooklyn Nets on Saturday, which ended a frustrating 9-game losing streak. Despite the win, Charlotte remains in 14th place in the East, trailing the 10th place Chicago Bulls by 11.5 games. Only the top 10 teams in the conference make the playoffs, so the Hornets are running out of time to turn things around. Meanwhile, the Heat are also struggling, having lost 114-109 to the Bulls on Saturday. Miami has dropped 3 in a row in 4 of their last 5 games. Still, they hold a relatively comfortable 7.5 game lead over the 11th place team in the East, keeping them in the playoff hunt for now. Charlotte will have a full roster available for this matchup, while Miami is dealing with some uncertainty. Haywood Highsmith, Alec Burks, and Duncan Robinson are all listed as questionable for the Heat. Despite their recent struggles, Miami has been heavily favored to win this game at home, especially against a Hornets team that had been in a deep slump before their surprising win over Brooklyn. Defensively, these teams are on different trajectories. Over their last 3 games, the Hornets have allowed an average of 115 points, while the Heat have been more solid, giving up just 105.5 points in their last 4. The gap in efficiency is also evident in the assist-to-turnover ratio. Miami ranks 11th with a 1.94 ratio, while Charlotte sits near the bottom at 28th with a 1.55 ratio. Miami hasn't had a standout season, but they are in a far better position than the injury-riddled Hornets. The Heat rank 25th in scoring, but have been strong defensively, sitting 7th in points allowed, 13th in opponent field goal percentage, and 14th in opponent three-point shooting. On the other hand, Charlotte is 28th in scoring and 14th in points allowed, giving up an average of 113 points per game. The Hornets have struggled to cover the spread recently, doing so in just 3 of their last 9 games. They've also been particularly poor against Southeast Division opponents, going 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 such matchups. Miami, meanwhile, has covered the spread in 6 of their last 7 games and 5 of their last 6 home games. Adding to Charlotte's challenges, they could be without their leading scorer, LaMelo Ball, and are already missing their 2nd, 4th, 5th, and 6th leading scorers. The Heat are in desperate need of a win, and this game against the Hornets feels like an opportunity for them to get back on track. As our first pick for this matchup, the Miami Heat to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. When it comes to shooting efficiency, neither team has been impressive. Miami ranks 19th in effective field goal percentage at 53.7%, while Charlotte is dead last at 49.9%. Both teams also rank near the bottom of the league in offensive ratings. The Heat are 21st with a 111.6 rating, and the Hornets are 29th with a 106.7 rating. Defensively, however, both teams have been stronger. Miami is 7th in points allowed, and Charlotte is 14th. The under has been a common trend in recent games for both teams, hitting in 5 of Charlotte's last 6 games, 4 of Miami's last 5, and 6 of the last 7 meetings between these 2 teams. Miami's offensive efficiency sits at 109.9, while Charlotte's is a dismal 104. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Indiana Pacers versus Chicago Bulls. The Indiana Pacers, currently holding a 35-27 record and sitting in 5th place in the Eastern Conference, are gearing up to take on the Chicago Bulls, who are 26-38 and clinging to the 10th spot in the East. The game is scheduled for March 10th at the United Center in Chicago. This matchup marks the 4th and final meeting between the 2 teams this regular season, with the Pacers aiming to secure a clean sweep after winning the first 3 games. The Pacers are heading into this game on a bit of of a rough patch, having lost their last 2 games. Their most recent defeat came on Saturday, where they fell 120-118 to the Atlanta Hawks on the road. On the other hand, the Bulls are riding a wave of momentum with back-to-back wins, including a 114-109 victory over the Miami Heat on Saturday. Both teams are coming off contrasting results, which adds an interesting dynamic to this matchup. Injury concerns are looming for both squads. The Pacers might be without 2 key players, as T.J. McConnell and Tyrese Halliburton are both listed as questionable. Meanwhile, the Bulls have already ruled out Lonzo Ball, and Nikola Vucevic is also questionable for the game. These potential absences could play a significant role in how the game unfolds. When you look at the numbers, there's a noticeable gap between these 2 teams. The Pacers hold a net rating of 1, which places them 15th in the league, while the Bulls are much further down at 23rd with a -4 net rating. Shooting efficiency also favors Indiana, as they rank 4th in the NBA with a 59.6 true shooting percentage, compared to Chicago's 58, which puts them at 134th. These stats highlight the Pacers' edge in overall performance this season. Despite their recent struggles, including 2 tough losses to the Hawks and dealing with injuries, the Pacers are still the better team on paper. The Bulls, while showing some fight with 2 straight wins, haven't strung together 3 consecutive victories in over 3 months. Historically, the Pacers have had the upper hand in this matchup, going 7-3 straight up and against the spread in their last 10 games against Chicago. That said, with both teams dealing with injuries, it's worth keeping an eye on the lineups right up until tip-off. Given the Pacers' dominance in the season series so far, I think they'll complete the sweep in this final meeting. As our first pick for this matchup, the Indiana Pacers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Defensively, both teams have done a decent job of limiting their opponents' 3-point shooting. The Bulls are particularly strong in this area, ranking 2nd in the NBA with an opposing 3-point percentage of 34.5. The Pacers aren't far behind, sitting at 12th with a 35.6 opposing 3-point percentage. However, neither team has been particularly effective on the boards. Indiana ranks 28th in rebounding percentage at 25.7, while Chicago is just a notch above at 27th with a 25.8 rebounding percentage. These factors could contribute to a lower scoring game. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Phoenix Suns versus Memphis Grizzlies. The Phoenix Suns, currently holding a record of 30-34, are set to face off against the Memphis Grizzlies, who stand at 39-24 in a Western Conference matchup on Monday night at the FedEx Forum. This game marks the 4th and final meeting between the 2 teams this season, with the Grizzlies having secured victories in all 3 previous encounters. Both teams are dealing with injuries to key players. The Suns will be without Cody Martin and Monty Morris, while the Grizzlies are missing Luke Kennard, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Santi Aldama. The Suns are in a tough spot, desperately needing wins to stay in the playoff race. They managed to pull off a crucial victory against the Mavericks last night, but it's hard to get too excited about beating a team that's been hit hard by injuries. On the other hand, the Grizzlies haven't been in great form either, and the absence of Jackson Jr. levels the playing field somewhat. The Grizzlies have the advantage of playing at home, which could be a significant factor given that both teams are coming off back-to-back games. I've been critical of the Suns all season and have often bet against them, which has worked out well so far. However, the Grizzlies have been struggling lately, and I'm not entirely confident in them either. The Suns showed some fight recently, with a big win over the Mavericks and a monster comeback against the Clippers. Suddenly, they've gained some ground in the play-in tournament race. The last time these 2 teams met a few weeks ago, the game went into overtime and ended with a combined 299 points. As our first pick for this matchup, the Phoenix Suns to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Looking at recent trends, the Suns have gone over the total points line in 6 of their last 7 games, while the Grizzlies have done so in 2 of their last 4. Phoenix averages 114 points per game and plays at the 21st fastest pace in the league, with 101.6 possessions per game. They're up against a Grizzlies defense that has allowed 121 points per game over their last 3 outings. Meanwhile, Memphis averages 123 points per game and plays at the fastest pace in the league, averaging 107.5 possessions per game. They'll be facing a Suns defense that has given up 127 points per game in their last 3 contests. In their last 5 meetings, the Grizzlies and Suns have gone over the total points line 3 times. When it comes to shooting efficiency, both teams are performing well. The Suns rank 5th in the league with a 56.3% effective field goal percentage, while the Grizzlies are 8th at 55.5%. Both teams also excel at sharing the ball, with the Suns ranking 6th in the NBA with a 67.7% assist percentage, and the Grizzlies sitting at 11th with a 64.2% assist percentage. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Denver Nuggets versus Oklahoma City Thunder. The Denver Nuggets, holding a record of 41 wins and 23 losses, are set to face off against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who boast an impressive 53-11 record. This divisional clash is scheduled for Monday evening, promising an exciting matchup between two competitive teams. Just last night, these two teams squared off, with the Thunder securing a decisive 127-103 victory. Oklahoma City currently leads the season series 2-1, giving them a psychological edge heading into this rematch. The Nuggets are dealing with some injury concerns, as Aaron Gordon and Julian Strawther are both listed on the injury report. On the other hand, the Thunder are entering this game at full strength, with no significant absences to worry about. Denver is likely frustrated after their blowout loss on Sunday, especially since the game was competitive until a certain point. It's always challenging to beat the same team twice in a row, so expect the Nuggets to come out with more energy this time. However, the Thunder's defense has been relentless, making it a tough task for Denver to bounce back. Denver's recent form has been inconsistent, with a 3-3 record over their last 6 games. They've also struggled on the road, losing 3 of their past 4 away games. Meanwhile, the Thunder have been on a tear, winning 9 of their last 10 games and continuing to assert their dominance in the league. Defensively, the Nuggets have been slightly below average, allowing 114 points per 100 possessions. This pales in comparison to Oklahoma City's elite defense, which ranks first in the league, giving up just 105.6 points per 100 possessions. The Thunder have already beaten the Nuggets by 15 points in their first meeting this season and followed that up with a 24-point victory on Sunday. Notably, 9 of Oklahoma City's last 10 wins have come by margins of 8 points or more. Betting against the Thunder has proven to be a losing strategy. They were one of the best teams to cover the spread last season, and this year, their 66.67% cover rate is the best in the NBA. Consistently backing the Thunder has been a profitable move all season long. That's what makes this matchup so intriguing. Adding to Denver's challenges, Aaron Gordon may be unavailable after leaving yesterday's game early. As our first pick for this matchup, the Oklahoma City Thunder to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Nuggets' offense has cooled off recently, scoring 116 or fewer points in 3 of their last 5 games, which is below their season average. In their 3 matchups against the Thunder this season, they've only managed to average 104 points per game. Oklahoma City's defense is among the best in the league, leading in several key categories. Denver tends to rely heavily on 3-point shooting, averaging 38 attempts per game, but they'll face a tough challenge against the Thunder, who rank first in 3-point defense. In Sunday's game, the Nuggets attempted 43s but only converted 30% of them. The under has hit in 6 of Denver's last 8 games, suggesting that points could be hard to come by in this matchup. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.